Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 16th Annual Student Conference on Literature, Language, and Culture. My name is Dr. Emily Kuffner, and I am the Vice Chair of the Modern Languages and Literatures Department. It's my great honor to introduce Dean Sheryl Fontaine, the Dean of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Dr. Fontaine has held many academic and administrative positions during her career, including Associate Dean of Administration, Chair of the Department of English, Comparative Literature and Linguistics, and Director of the Writing Center and the University Learning Center. The campus recognized her service to the university by presenting her with the CSUF Faculty Leadership and Governance Award. Dr. Fontaine is also a published scholar in the field of composition and rhetoric, including several essays on the nature of emerging disciplines, writing program and academic program administration, shared governments, and most recently, reflections and recommendations drawn from the process of serving as dean during the global pandemic. Please join me in welcoming Dean Sheryl Fontaine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you for giving me a few moments. I know you all are out there. I can't see you, but I want to welcome you to this conference. It's truly remarkable what you're doing, and that you've been doing it. The Department of Modern Languages and Literatures have been doing this for so long. And of course, they couldn't do it without you, without the students. I wanted to just take a few minutes to reflect with you on why one might study language, literature, culture, the teaching of language. And I wanted to do so by sharing with you my own experience, why I did it. So in 7th grade, my family lived on the Canadian border in upstate New York. Imagine the other side of the country. The closest big city was Montreal. My name was Fontaine, so it was, a no-brainer that when I could study a language, I would study French. And though I'd gone into the study of French because it was, an option at that point in my curriculum, I could not have been ready for what happened every day when I would walk into Madame Cannel's classroom. It may have been 10 below zero outside the building, but inside I was looking at maps of France. I was placing monuments of Paris along the Seine. I was reading Asterix and Obelix. I was in another world. And I never could have imagined that I would actually be in that world many years later when I had the opportunity to study abroad in France, an experience that just changed my life. At that point, I was also preparing to study in college. Again, something I couldn't have prepared for. I was a double major in college. I majored in French and also in English and American literature. And I know for a fact that my study of English and American literature was enhanced and deepened because of my study of French literature and culture, and vice versa. And I should also say that my first job out of undergraduate was I needed to put myself through graduate school, and I was teaching French in an elementary school. Talk about being outside my comfort zone, singing French songs to kindergartners. But somehow in another language, I had much more courage. But in addition to being a Fontaine, I was also a Rathke. So my grandmother's parents had arrived in Buffalo from Germany, and she was not allowed to speak German at home. And for the reason that unfortunately many immigrants experience, she couldn't speak German in school. And so my grandmother's knowledge of German was fractured and hazy. And so when I went to Herr Brunwald's classroom in 9th grade, my goal was to bring back to my grandmother some of the memories of the stories and songs that her mother had shared with her and that she may have forgotten. Now, fast forward, I'm a professor in the English department, as Dr. Kuffner said, and I had the opportunity to go to Guatemala and work in an indigenous village in Guatemala. This was a medical clinic. And we were halfway through the clinic, and I knew two things. I knew, one, I was going to come back, and I knew I was going to have to learn Spanish because my French and my German were not doing me much good. So I went home, and I would, teach here at the university. And then at night, I started taking night classes in Spanish. During my sabbatical, I got Rosetta Stone, and every day I would do my Rosetta Stone. And then I also spent a January session. I paid to go and do a Spanish school in Quetzaltenango in Guatemala. And ultimately, I could speak with the Guatemalans I worked next to. I could speak in Spanish to the young girl that I was supporting her education through school. And then I was actually able to lead some groups of students and faculty to Guatemala on our own education trips. And probably because of the grace and kindness of Guatemalans, my fractured Spanish, my homegrown Spanish, got me through hotel reservations and bus drivers and even negotiations in the local markets. So I would hope that my experience tracks with yours. Why do you learn language, other languages and literatures and cultures? It's curiosity. It's maybe to revive or explore your heritage. It's about work and employment. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this department and for what they're providing all of you. I found a quote actually from one of your alumni that I thought would be a great thing to carry you through the day. Eric Murillo said, "There are no borders in human knowledge." And I wanted to thank you all for knowing that, for pushing beyond the borders. Thank you for what you're going to do today. And I wish you a very happy and insightful day. And congratulations again from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Dean Fontaine for opening up our conference today. And we really hope that all of you will come to the other sessions that we have planned so you can see all the exciting projects that our students are working on. I've put a link to the conference website in the chat so that you can look at the schedule. And as you'll see, we have many panels throughout the day. So please join us later. And thank you all for coming to the opening of our conference today.